In the last video, I spoke about the many sins of animation creators, ranging from money-hungry content farms to a creator that animated a suggestive clip of a certain underage Squid Game character. But if that video contains sins, this video contains war crimes, literal violations of the Geneva Convention, from desecrating the dead, to making gay gacha animations of the Holy Prophets, to faking cancer. And that's just one creator that we have today, and she's not even the worst. So welcome to this brand new limited series on the channel that I'm calling Animayhem, where I discuss the catastrophic controversies of the internet's animation community. This is the third installment of Animayhem. If you haven't seen parts 1 or 2, I'll link them down below in the video description for you to check out afterwards. With that said, let's dive into the first story. This is going to be the least extreme out of all of them. As the video progresses, each case is going to get worse and worse. Even still, this is highly illegal. If you don't know about it, allow me to introduce you to Bluey-Gate. So we're starting off today not with one channel in particular, but instead with a weird animation rabbit hole that I somehow found myself down. That being weird Bluey knockoffs. In case you don't know it, Bluey is a very famous children's TV show, probably the most well-known these days, and it follows a family of 4 dogs in their daily lives. Parents have noted that the show is entertaining for them and is also informative and educational for the kids that watch it, leading to its immense success. However, as with basically everything that becomes a smash hit, there'll be some people out there with questionable morals that decide to leech off its fame in order to make money. And that's where channels such as Animation 4.0 and Lotus Animation Story come in. Because in early 2023, articles were written detailing that there had recently been an epidemic of fake knockoff Bluey channels that were making inappropriate videos. Both children and parents alike would think that these were Bluey episodes, they would click on them, and later would find out that they were not. These were at best extremely low quality slop videos, and at worst they contained themes and imagery that were inappropriate for child audiences. For any haters of woke that are in the house, you might be angry to find out that some of these videos contained a bit of a strange theme of the male Bluey characters getting pregnant. Of course, because these were of such low quality, they never outright said it because there was never any dialogue, but I don't think that Dad's saying that there's a ham and cheese sandwich in there. These bootleg videos provide no entertainment value, and maybe it's just me, but some of these thumbnails are very questionable. Some of them were straight up Elsagate levels of inappropriate, with syringes, dead characters, and pregnancies which I can't lie, smell a little bit fetishy to me. But even if you strip away all of the inappropriate content that these videos contained, what you're left with is a very obvious case of copyright infringement. Now, it's not the first thing that people are thinking of, and it's not the flashiest, sexiest thing to talk about here, but at the end of the day, this is very clearly them stealing the intellectual property of Bluey. Like, surely this is illegal. If the people behind these channels were going to be facing some sort of legal consequence, probably the easiest thing to get them on would be copyright infringement. From a legal perspective, this is very clearly stealing someone's intellectual property, and from a moral sense, the people behind these channels are very fine selling slop to children as long as it's making them money. These channels do not care about children and their educational development. They are very clearly just there to make money. So long story short, the entire thing was dubbed Bluey-Gate and caused a very big ruckus in the community. Fortunately, it does appear as though most of these channels have since been terminated. That said, I was able to find one channel called Cool Cartoon that seems to maybe be using AI to add gore and violence into Bluey. I do not believe that this is in YouTube's guidelines, so I think I'm going to flag YouTube's attention on this. Honestly, it's quite sick to me that there are people out there that want to shock and scare toddlers and monetize it. Like, how would you even sleep at night if you were one of the people behind these channels? What lies would you have to tell yourself to rationalize it? Whatever it is, corrupting the youth is the least extreme thing that we have today. So now on to the second creator that we're going to discuss, and this one was banned a very long time ago. Her name was Shey Gacha. Now, Shey Gacha is a name that if you're a very, very devoted fan of the FoxAkimbo channel, you might somehow remember. because she's a content creator that I spoke about years ago within my video about terminated YouTube channels. You have to go back a very long time for this, all the way back to the summer of 2022. But if you didn't see that video, or understandably you did see it but you want a reminder, her story dates back to early 2021 when she made a video where she claimed that cancer didn't exist and that cancer patients are faking, which made some people quite mad. Shey also claimed that Tourette's didn't exist and that the people that claimed they had it were also faking. I guess she had seen that episode of South Park where Cartman pretends to have it.
Butthole, titties, bows.
But Shey, South Park is not based on real events. Joking about cancer or Tourette's online is only going to upset people because this is the internet. Of course it will. That said, I do think that this was bait. I do not believe there is a single person out there who believes that cancer is fake and is being genuinely serious about it. However, these claims were just the tip of the iceberg. And if she was trying to rage bait, what she said next was absolutely out of order. In late January 2021, Jacksepticeye announced that his father had passed away. In what can only be described as utterly disgusting and vile behaviour, a select number of individuals on the internet took the time out of their day to openly mock his passing, saying that he was burning in hell. They wouldn't have had any real reason to be saying these horrible things, but during one of the lowest moments of Jack's life, he was met with sneers and outrageous claims. There was even one guy that pulled a J station and made videos saying that he was contacting Jack's dad from the dead. Like, what possessed you to be so cruel? Who raised you, and where did it go wrong? Because clearly they did a bad job, and unfortunately, Shey Gacha was one such person that made fun of Jack's father's passing. Shey said that Jack's father was unloved, stupid, and irrelevant. The video is long gone from the internet by this point. I can't seem to find it anywhere, but there is a screenshot taken of this, and it shows that the video did exist. Jacksepticeye would actually acknowledge the harassment that his late father received, saying this.
To any of you who posted memes about it and posted negative stuff about it, you are absolute scum, and I fucking hate you because you made something that was hard so much harder to go through.
But if you thought that was the end, you would be wrong, because Shey Gacha's very short-lived reign of terror would last a little while longer, and arguably it got even worse. For whatever twisted reason, Shey then came out to defend MAPS. And if you've never come across this acronym before, MAPS stands for Minor Attracted Persons. It is a very polite way of saying pedo.
I'm getting the word nonce.
Once more, this could just be them trolling, but at this point, it's tough to tell. Mocking the very recently deceased isn't even trolling, it's just cruel. So if they're mentally warped enough to be mocking the recently deceased, who's to say if they're mentally warped enough to defend MAPS? In the end, Shey's reign of terror would be quite short-lived. The channel would only survive 4 months, being founded in January 2021 and being terminated in May of that year. But Shey is still remembered as one of the most infamous gacha content creators of all time. That said, I'm sure I can speak for everyone, but she won't be missed on the platform. And before you say it, I checked the r/animation subreddit, and apparently gacha content creators do count as animation. But before we move on to our next story, I'd just quickly like to say that if you're enjoying this right now, then make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I can't believe I'm saying this, but we are very, very fastly approaching 200,000 subscribers. The last 2 videos did amazingly well, and if you want more Animehem, the only way to tell me is to like it and subscribe if you haven't already. Also interact with me and let me know down in the comments what you think of this video, what you think of the creators I'm talking about, and if there are any others that you'd like to see in future content. You guys are absolute legends, so get active, get engaged, and if you guys want more Animehem, then we'll do more Animehem because I am absolutely loving the response that these videos are getting. So yeah, like, subscribe, and let me know down in the comments if we're gonna do a part 4, who should we cover next? And if I pick the creator that you suggested, then you're going to get a shout out, just like Joanna Aguelol, Bloodstar SV5, Mr. Mildly Concerned, Gold Talon 23, and Jacob124, who all recommended the next animator that we'll be discussing today, the infamous Bella the Wolf. So in case you don't know Bella the Wolf, she is a YouTuber and TikToker with a little more than 150,000 followers on both platforms combined. This is her YouTube channel, and let me let you in on a little secret, ladies and gentlemen. I was licking my lips when I saw this. I knew from the moment I laid eyes on her channel that it was a content goldmine. Like a wine connoisseur, I could detect notes of cringe, stupidity, and mental abnormality here. But just why is Mrs. The Wolf so infamous? Well, there are a few reasons, so let's go through them from least serious to most. Let's begin with religion. In one of her earliest videos, she animated famous religious figures Jesus and Allah kissing, and she said in the comments that Jesus and Allah are dating. To be honest, if you were to ask me, I'd say this is based, but based on the 55,000 dislikes that this video has received, I think it's fair to say that most people disagree. The comments of this video are filled up with a bunch of angry Muslims and Christians saying that the idea of Jesus and Allah kissing is disrespectful to their religion. Personally, I don't really have an opinion on this. I'm not going to be out there with the pitchforks and torches or anything, but that said, I do see why some people might be upset with it. Like, a lot of people don't like the idea of religious figures dating, or religious figures dating each other, or religious figures dating each other, but it's gay. That said, it gets worse. In another video, she animated a clip of her killing Jesus. Kind of interesting that she left other religious leaders out of that one, I'm just saying. Worse yet, just shy of a year ago, she uploaded a video titled, "I was diagnosed with cancer." And in that video, she stated that she had been diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. This is slightly ironic because she had previously stated that she didn't think that cancer was real, kind of echoing everything that Shey Gacha was saying. But upon a reverse image search, it turned out that the photo that she used was not actually her whatsoever, she was faking. Speaking of cancer, after the extremely famous Minecraft creator Technoblade died of cancer, she made a short that many people found to be extremely disrespectful, and pinned a comment to the short claiming that he had groomed a minor. The thing you have to understand about someone like Bella is that they will do absolutely outrageous things like mocking religion, or making fun of the recently deceased, or even going as far as to call them groomers, just because it gives them insane engagement. There have even been times where she's been called out for her behaviour by content creators such as Ty Records Lol and Ryth, and she responds by including them in her animations. When she includes these people, usually something really bad's happening to them, and it causes their audience to go over and hate her, but this is exactly what she wants because she's gaining views, she's gaining engagement, and she's gaining new eyes. Given all of the content that's been made talking about her over the past couple of years, even a video like this is exactly what she wants. She wants to be at the center of discussion. She doesn't need to be liked, she just needs to be seen. And by me discussing this, I'm willingly walking into her web. But while most of this is just engagement farming, I think that sometimes she does absolutely horrendous things just for the love of the game. I kid you not, one time she apparently leaked the phone number of a 10-year-old boy in her Discord, which had more than 10,000 members.
Yesterday, some girl or some person who goes on the internet by Bella the Wolf put my son, and here he is, that's Miles, put Miles' number on a Discord server, said that it was hers, and told people to call. Since then, Miles has gotten over 500 text messages, over 200 phone calls and voicemails that we've had to deal with. So at this point, I am going to have to change Miles' number.
Just like Shey before, I think she's gone way over the line with some of these. Doxing a 10-year-old to thousands of people is insanity, and according to Bella, this leak would get her arrested.
Hello everyone, Bella the Wolf is here. I know I haven't posted any videos for over 3 weeks, and there's a valid reason for that. For the last 3 weeks, I was in jail, and it's very horrible in here. The officers don't care at all that I'm a cancer patient. I'm in jail because of that kid's number I leaked, and someone spread false information that I'm an animal abuser.
To be honest, I struggle to believe her. When it comes to people like Bella, you have to take every word that comes out of their mouth with a pinch of salt. Someone that fakes cancer, spreads malicious rumours about the recently deceased, and doxes 10-year-old boys cannot be trusted. And anything that could be thought of in that twisted mind of hers is possible. As of the time I'm recording this, she's recently been quite quiet with uploads. Hopefully it stays like that, even though I very much doubt it. Regardless, she has one of the worst reputations on the internet. But despite all of that, the next creator that we'll be discussing probably has an even worse one. He's done well to outdo Bella because it's almost impossible, to be honest. This is the story of Notive's cancellation. Notive was a Roblox animator that gained a moderate but loyal audience over the years. His channel around the time of the controversy was very comparable in size to my own, with him having 177,000 subscribers in late September 2023. And this would have been after he had already lost some, because on the 2nd of September, a burner Twitter account made a post that would essentially end Notive's career. It linked a Google Doc and wrote, "Coming out about at Notive's username. He is a groomer and has manipulated many others in private. Below is a document detailing his actions." Lads and lasses, I swear down, this was one of the most comprehensive Google Docs I have ever seen. The damn thing has a table of contents, and throughout the 55 pages is armed to the teeth with screenshots detailing a long history of malpractice ranging from manipulation to grooming. First things first, let me state that these are allegations. I cannot prove for a definitive fact that Notive did every single thing that he's accused of. I can only go based on the document. Also, let me say that I am by no means the first person to talk about this document. It has been well documented, for lack of better words, in the Roblox animation community. Secondly, if this is true, then it's really not a good look for Notive. He is a Roblox animator. Think in your minds the sorts of people that might watch Roblox animations. 100% a large chunk of his audience were comprised of children and teenagers. Thirdly, I will not be able to discuss every single claim and allegation sheerly due to the size of this document. As I said, it is 55 pages long. It would take me till 2026, 7, 8, or 9 to detail every single thing that this document says. However, of course, I will give you the footnotes and the important details. So the first allegation that the document brings up was that this wasn't Notive's first strike. He apparently had allegations levied against him a year prior for having a secret Roblox Rule 34 porn account. This man might think with his head, but certainly not his brain, so to speak. According to the doc, he would make an apology, which, if you want to read it, please pause now, but later he took it down. The document also confirmed that he has a corn addiction. And yes, I spent the last week of my life researching a Roblox animator's corn addiction. Oh, the things I do for you guys. We'll be diving deep into that very soon, don't you worry. To me, this isn't the be-all and end-all though. If you have a secret Rule 34 Roblox corn account leak, you know, it's not great, but you could at least come back from that. As long as you weren't intentionally posting it in a place where you think that minors would be present, then you should be fine. Regardless, he admitted to it. The document then goes more into his addiction, and I'm not going to linger on it for too long because in isolation, someone with an addiction is a victim too. It's just what they do and how they deal with things that might make that change. And for Notive, there is an allegation that he uploaded a cropped image of a raccoon onto a Roblox shirt. And in the full image, I kid you not, the raccoon is apparently having a cheese grater shoved up its ass. Okay, that is where I draw the line, okay? I could forgive you for having a secret Rule 34 Roblox corn account. I could forgive you for that. But having a perverted little t-shirt where you have a drawn raccoon, have a cheese grater, man. A cheese grater shoved where the sun don't shine, hell no! You are not getting forgiven for that. You're not getting off easy, Notive. You're not getting off easy. Like, yes, this man very clearly has a corn addiction and he is far down the rabbit hole because what the hell are you doing with a cheese grater up the arse fucking t-shirt? What is even going on, man? And I guess that's as good of a transition as any to move on to this next segment of the story. We're going to be discussing some fairly NSFW stuff right now, so if you don't feel comfortable hearing about it, then you can skip to the timestamp on screen right now. Content warning for grooming. To get more serious, the allegations then turned into real-life misdeeds, such as sending porn to a minor. This minor is known on the document as Blue. The minor had apparently only just turned 16 a few weeks ago, and Notive, who went as Brody on Discord, was 18, soon to be 19 in a few weeks. Screenshots showed that they were aware of the age difference, but didn't care. It stated on the document that Notive had joined a video call with Blue and had self-pleasured on camera, asking Blue to show himself on camera, but Blue refused. The document shows Blue discussing their relationship, and Blue claimed that Notive would make NSFW Roblox animations of him and bought Blue some stockings to wear, likely as part of a fetish. Then comes the DMs between Notive and Blue, and I very much considered leaving these out because I don't know if I can take it. For the sake of transparency though, I thought I'd include one. For context, this interaction takes place after Blue had just sent an image of himself with the stockings on, and here it is. Drools, weird emoji, another image sent. Oh my god, I don't deserve this much. Notive is then said to have screenshotted these images, apparently the dotted circles indicate a screenshot, and then he admitted on Discord that he got off to it. Now don't get me wrong, I completely understand drooling at the sight of a femboy in stockings, but Notive, we keep those sorts of things to ourselves. Otherwise, the next thing you know, some smarmy British pseudo-intellectual will find a screenshot of you admitting to it and include it in their video, telling the entire world your freaky little secret. Okay, that's the worst of it. The two's relationship deteriorated shortly afterwards, and Notive apparently tried to erase any history of it, deleting previously sent messages. Blue eventually distances himself from Notive, and according to the document, Notive then turns his attention to two other people known as Red and Pink. The document goes on to allege that despite Notive being very careful in making sure that his nudes weren't saved, he apparently saved Pink's to later use as leverage after pressuring her into sending them in the first place. The final few pages of the document show more instances of Notive being manipulative towards several people, downplaying abuse and sexual trauma, trying to get people to cut off their friends, and overall, I guess trying to be this mastermind puppeteer. I mean, here's the thing. These are, at the end of the day, allegations. But the sheer amount of evidence here is insane. So you might be asking yourself, where is Notive today? Well, according to a very reliable source, there has been an update in this case over the past couple of weeks. Since this is Wikitubia though, please do take it with a grain of salt, but it claims that Notive's channel was deleted on the 11th of September this year. So literally like 2 weeks ago now. But given that it's been such a long time since these allegations went public, I have to imagine that this termination was self-inflicted rather than being done by YouTube. But if you want to take a look at terminations that were caused by the platforms they were on, then why not check out my Book of the Banned compilation? We have some absolutely outrageous stories there. If you want to have something in the background as you're working or sleeping or drawing, I could recommend no better video than that. With that said, I'd like to thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.